Hey, it's your buddy Moo Juice Magic here. So I'm going to talk about something that's going to be kind of maybe a little emotional, but it's something that I hope it helps somebody else. It's stuff that I've gone through before, I'm going through again. It's a realization that if I want to change myself, I can't expect to keep things around me that are going to be problematic or that are going to continue to be part of the lifestyle that I'm trying to change. So, for those who don't know, I quit drinking about a year ago. Not because I'm a severe alcoholic or anything. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I quit drinking because I just wanted to be more healthy. I've had some health issues. And one thing I would do was I was always hanging out at the bar. So I, stopped hanging out at the bar for a while. I stopped drinking. It was a lot easier for me just not to drink because you still have the lifestyle. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to be around your friends. You want to fit in, stuff like that. So it's just really easy to keep drinking, And it wasn't helping me to quit, so I just stopped being around. I realized when I stopped going to the bar, I stopped kind of having friends, which is fine because what I lost at that point was drama. Didn't have as much drama, as much stress. I didn't have to worry about, well, so-and-so, how they're doing things because I helped them and now they're flaking when I need them. I didn't have to worry about that anymore because I wasn't there. I cut myself out of the drama. I didn't cut them off. I just cut myself out of the drama. So the other night I decided, hey, it's been a year. I can go have a drink. Cool, whatever. So I go and I have like 3 beers and a shot, which for me is nothing. For most people, that's a lot. For me, I'm not buzzed. Even after a year. I'm chemically set that way. But it's also, another reason I don't want to keep drinking is because if I can do that easy, I don't want to keep going. So I stopped drinking. I'm like, okay, that's my night of the year. Take it sober again. I didn't even leave the bar before the drama hit that night. I didn't even get the freaking door before there was drama. And the drama was one of the things that stressed me out all the time. One of my problems is I deal with a ton of stress. I have a lot of stress in my life. Part of that comes from severe, deep depression, very unhealthy depression. Part of it's a bunch of other issues with self-worth and self-image that I struggle with. And, I have to be honest about it or I can't help myself. And if this helps you, then I want to be honest with how I'm going through things. Anyway, I had a realization, something I'd realized before. I've gone through cycles where I'll have friends, and then suddenly I won't have friends anymore, and I couldn't really figure out why. And these friends, there was always drama around when I had friends, and for years I thought, man, I'm the problem. It turned out not to be the case. I learned that when I stopped barbecuing for everybody and feeding everybody and providing drinks for everybody, and when I stopped hanging out and going to the bar with everybody, when I stopped wanting to drink with people, they stopped wanting to hang out with me. And it hit me that I never had friends. People that care about you would support you. It's that simple. The problem that I was having was I can't get out of a lifestyle by continuing to hang out with the people that imbibe in that lifestyle. When I'm not around those people, it's no longer difficult to avoid that lifestyle. Because the people I hang out with, that's their lifestyle. That's what they've chosen to do. It's not about going to the bar. If you're just going to the bar, that's also an issue. But if you're hanging out with the people at the bar, that's the people you surround yourself with, that's what your life is going to be. You're going to end up the same way they are. And I was seeing that in myself. I don't like that. I can't help them. They make a decision. But I have to make a decision as an adult. So I once again remove myself from the situation. And it's something I want you to think about if you're struggling, if you're trying to stop doing something that you don't want to do. If you're starting to stop drinking, stop smoking pot, stop smoking, doing drugs, stop smoking cigarettes. If you're surrounding your people that is their lifestyle, if those are your only friends, if that's what you're doing with your time, when if you're not just alone and you're with those people, you're never going to be able to stop the cycle of what you've been doing. It's going to continue. You're going to take a few weeks of not drinking, and maybe a week, and bam, you're going to be right back to it. You're going to be doing the same stuff, and you're never going to progress in your life. You're going to end up a regular at the bar forever. And that's just how it is. Until you cut that out of your life, you're not going to change. You can't. Because you really don't want to. It's a big part of it. You have to desire to do something different and to have something better for you to ever get there. There's a lot that goes on with this. It's tough because people are going to talk trash about you. People talk trash about me when I was at the bar, though, so I don't care. I would rather people trash me on the internet in Moss than have people talk behind my back that pretend to be my friends in person. One thing I dealt with this weekend was I got accused of something pretty freaking crappy. Something that is so far out of my character that it doesn't make sense that the person would prescribe that to me. And it occurred to me today why that person prescribed that to me. They don't really know me very well. And B, it's because deep down that's who that person is, and that's what they would do. People tend to do that. They project their problems onto you when they don't know you, or when they see you separating from whatever you're doing, or if they have any kind of reason to dislike you, whether it be jealousy or, whatever else. They're going to project their deepest issues on you to make you Baba Yaga. They want you to be the boogeyman, because then they don't have to cope with their own insecurities, malfeasances, and things that they would do, that they just don't have the courtesy to admit to everyone else that that's what they're really like in the shadows. I keep my feelings to myself a lot, like my true feelings. I give bits and pieces to people so I can, at least kind of feel human sometimes. But there's very few people I really open up to. And there's a lot of things I don't say and I can't say to people. There are things I can't tell my wife. And it's what goes on in my brain. And it's because I'm not a normal person. That's not a good thing. That's not a positive thing. I'm not a serial killer. I don't like hurting people. It's just part of who I am. I have to know that I'm different than other people. And every individual is an individual, but most people are pretty regular on certain things. But to be accused of something that I would never do is perplexing to me. And the only people that have ever made accusations like this against me are people that would do it themselves or are already doing something worse. And no one's found out about it yet. It always comes out. It always comes out. So I'm not stressed about that. I don't wish any ill will on anybody. It was just kind of insulting, and it just steeled in me that I need to once again remove myself from what I thought was my friends and be alone again. Being alone sucks, man. Being alone sucks. But after this last weekend, I got stabbed in the back by someone I cared about more than almost anybody in the world. And I had a friend that I thought was super close to me. Just, yeah. It sucked. It sucked. Now, I could be bitter about it, and I could be hostile to them. Or I could just say, this isn't my fault for once. I blame myself for everything, guys. I blame myself for things that make no sense. Like, things that don't make sense, I blame myself for. But I'll be the first to admit when I'm wrong about something. I will be hard on myself, harder than everybody else. But to be accused of something I don't do, for some reason, that is just the biggest indignity someone can prescribe to me. It bothers me. And it isn't right. It isn't right at all. But I was blaming myself, and I realized I shouldn't have. It wasn't a me issue. Like I said, there's very few people I trust. I don't trust really anybody anymore at all. I don't. There's very few people I'll tell everything to. There was two, and I won't tell everything to them either. I shouldn't say everything, but most things. There was two, and now there's barely one left. So it's really tough to do that. And I'm not blaming them for it. Everybody has their own shit they want to do. But if I want to better myself, I have to separate. And if you're doing stuff like that, if you're trying to quit drinking, you're not going to do it going to the bar. You're not going to quit drinking, hanging out with people that drink all the time, even if you're not at the bar. That's their lifestyle. You can't change if that's what they do. If you're hanging out with people that are always in the lifestyle you're trying to avoid, you're going to get dragged right back into it. You got to separate yourself from it. It's tough for, like, I see people that are couples that meet at these places, and they never seem to get anywhere in life. They never seem to progress and get out of it. Because every time one wants to clean up and sober up, the other one goes on for about a week. And then somewhere off, one falls off and drags them both. They both drag down with each other. It's not they drag them down. They drag them down with each other. And they should never have been involved in the first place. It's just a tough thing, man. It's tough to have friends that all they do is one thing. When that one thing is the thing you're trying to avoid, then maybe find different friends or just don't. There's plenty of things you can do with your spare time. You can go back to school. I'm going to start working on trying to get another degree here shortly. I'm going back to finish some other school stuff probably this week, and then look at what I need to do to try to get another degree. I have one from Bible college. I want one that's actually applicable to real life. And then, focus on a talent, a hobby you don't do anymore. If you're an artist and you haven't found yourself compelled to be an artist anymore, be an artist again. Go to church, read a book, do something that you haven't done. Learn a language. But don't hang out with the people that are going to do the same thing that you've been doing and expect for you to have different results. It doesn't work. You have to cut them off. And if it does work, you're going to get so dragged down by their drama, you're never going to get better. You're going to be emotionally wrecked all the time. And you're still not going to progress. You take a barrel full of coffee and you put a drop of toxic waste in it, and the whole thing is toxic waste. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a weird analogy. I missed half of it. The analogy is actually if you take a barrel of toxic waste and you pour coffee in it, it's still toxic waste. And you take a barrel of coffee and you put an ounce of or a drop of toxic waste in it, it's toxic waste. That's the actual analogy. I've had a long week. I haven't made a lot of videos. I had to reshoot this one because my audio was screwed up and I didn't realize it. And I make the mistake of never editing, which I'm going to be working on, by the way. One of the things I'm thinking about going to school for is editing and learning about audio-visual stuff a little better, so I can provide a better product for you guys, a better channel, better entertainment, things like that. But if you guys are going through stuff like this, let me know. Like, have you found this in your life where you've had to cut yourself? I don't like to use the term cut off your friends. You're cutting yourself out of the equation is what you should be doing. Cutting off your friends is rude. You can do that without being rude to them. You can just step away and stop being part of it. Say, hey, I'm going to be alone for a while. And then be alone or go do what you're going to do. But don't expect change if you're doing the same shit over and over. I am one of the most strong-willed people I know, and I couldn't do it. And I gave up drinking on a whim. I just said I want to get healthier, and I stopped for a year. Take another year off now. If you need to stop, stop. Same with pot. Same with drugs. Can't quit meth if you're going to the meth lab all the time, dude. Anyway, it's a repetitious cycle you got to break from if you want to have any improvement. I'm your buddy Moo Juice Magic, and if you're wondering if you're going through this, if this is something that you're struggling with or that you need to change, ask yourself who you've hurt lately and see if it applies to you. It doesn't apply to everybody, but if you've hurt someone, it's usually a time for change. Or if you found that people are hurting you all the time, it's a sign for change. You can go both ways, but if there's too much hurt going on, too much damage, too much stress, too much strain, that's what it is. Can't help yourself, then nobody can help you. You got to start by starting over. All right. I'm Moo Juice Magic, like I said, man. I love you in the face. I hope this helps. Catharsis for me because I needed to say it. Because I can't vent to anybody anymore, so, I'd rather it be hopefully constructive than diminutive with being mad. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this kind of content, let me know.